Right, and action.
Hello guys, welcome back to another episode. I really want to thank the support you are giving this channel. Continue subscribing, liking and share so that the message will reach the people. You know, we are encouraging people right now to, if you are in diaspora, to invest home. If you are in South Africa, to invest home, because home is the best. So today we are on our way. As you can see the road, we are on our way.
Rural,
we are on our way to go and visit Mr. Sunday. Mr. Sunday was in South Africa for a while, and he came back 6 months ago from South Africa, back to zero, guys. When I say zero, I mean there was nothing. I think 6 months ago, Biriot did a video with him. I will show you the video.
Yes.
When the house was not complete. So now we want to visit so that we can see what development are now there so far. Because he said he have the vision, and we are also part of the vision to see if there is any progress.
Yeah. So guys, 6 months ago I visited Mr. Sunday, and he was starting a new life here in the rural areas. And you started off by building your own room that you are probably going to be staying inside.
Yes, definitely. I had to start somewhere. This room is very important to me because that's where everything will be. It's my office, it's my production house, it's my processing house. So yeah, I felt like I just need to have a fort, you know?
Yes. I'm here back again to see the progress, and I came with Mr. Morgan to see how everything is going. But I'm telling you, it's not an easy journey. We are here to show people that even when you come back from the diaspora, life can be easy, life can be hard. It's 50-50. So let's go guys and see.
Finally, we arrived to see Mr. Sunday. Mr. Sunday, how are you?
I am excellent, thank you.
Yeah, that's good. How's home?
Home is beautiful. I'm loving it here.
You're loving it?
Yeah.
And I'm seeing here there's fresh air compared to Harare. I think to be living here, you just breathe the real fresh without being diluted or anything.
It's fantastic, I can tell you. You know, when I wake up, I just always feel good. I've got this extra energy.
That's true.
Yeah.
How big is your land here?
It's about 5 hectares of land.
5 hectares?
Yes.
Wow,
yes,
wow.
Yes.
And I'm seeing here you are doing a lot of big projects here. What's the dream about the projects you are doing here?
Well, I decided to start small. So right now I'm doing like everything is small, like tomatoes, cauliflower, broccoli, onions, beetroot.
Wow.
So I'm starting small. It's almost like a pilot version where I start small and then I scale when I see that, you know, this thing works in this area.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Was that the dream that made you come from South Africa to here to start the projects?
You know, there's always something about home. You know, people always say home is best.
That's true.
And you know, I love to produce things. I like to produce things, and here I've got that opportunity to be me.
Wow. And I wanted to ask something.
Yes.
How was the life in South Africa?
Life in South Africa is fast. You know, it's fast. It's tough. You know, for the citizens and even for people who are coming from other countries as well. It's not an easy place to be. It's a good place, but it's not an easy place to be.
Wow, when you say it's not an easy place to be, what do you mean exactly?
You know, there's a lot of unemployment, you know. A lot of people from South Africa, they don't have jobs. Okay. So there's a lot of poverty around there. And even people who come to South Africa as well, yes, they might actually end up staying, you know, 4 or 5 years without even having a job.
Wow.
Yes, there is people that are lucky and they make it, but a lot of people are struggling. So yeah.
You know one thing that we think of,
yeah,
if we see someone saying he's going or she's going to South Africa, we also think maybe he's going to work. I'm being shocked that you are saying someone can live for 5 without even going to work.
I went for almost 5 years, close to 5 years without having a job. So it's not easy. Even for the citizens themselves, they are also struggling to find employment.
Also, you mean most of the people that go to South Africa, they go to search, not that they are being employed without going there. They are going to search for the jobs.
They're looking for jobs, just like the local citizens. They're also looking for jobs. There's a scarcity of jobs, and with life getting more expensive, it's not easy being out there.
Wow. What about in terms of security? Because in Zimbabwe I can even walk with my phone. What is it about in terms of security in South Africa?
It's like I said, that there's lack of jobs, so
Yes.
people are looking for money. So because of the poverty, some people tend to mug people, to stab people. Theft and crime levels have risen because there is lack of opportunities for the people. Yes.
Have you ever encountered anything
Yes,
suspicious in South
I mean, I've been mugged. All my friends have been mugged. So
Wow.
it's something that happens on the regular. Yes, it's something that people.
Oh, it's totally normal in South Africa that you can be attacked.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows.
Wow,
Yeah, it's not
wow.
easy. People are looking for money out there. So yeah.
And I wanted to ask, what was your dream for you to go to South Africa?
My dream to go to South Africa, I also wanted to work. I wanted to
Okay.
start something for myself. So I left there. I actually went, with the church, to go and teach and preach, So I did a 2-year volunteer work for the church to teach and preach. So I loved there. I loved it there. So I had friends. So I thought, well, let me go and work and have a good time with my friends as well there.
All right.
Yes.
And I heard your family. You also went with your family.
No, I went by myself.
Oh,
But my family, yeah. I got married when I was that side. So yeah, there's still that side, and they
Also,
yet
you
to
were
come.
married in that side.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is she from South
She's
Africa?
from SAS.
From South Africa?
Yes, but she's going to be coming to Zim.
Wow.
Certainly, yes.
Hey, and I think it's a fantastic thing, being married to someone not from your region, learning from him, learning from her. I think it's just something. How is the life being separated, like you are now in Zimbabwe and she's in South Africa?
It's not easy, but sometimes, if you want to go somewhere in life,
Yes.
you have to make those ultimate sacrifices. You have to be the stronger man,
That's true.
So you have to make those ultimate. Without sacrifice, you can't make it. You can't become, something worthwhile in this life. So they understood. I spoke to them about the goal for the family. That look,
Yes.
I want to go back home and build a nice home for you, where you can come and then we can enjoy, the nice food from Zim, tasty.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true. So when did you come from South Africa?
I came last year in October.
Last year in October.
So almost about 6 months or so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And did you come here seeing this house, because I'm seeing like we have the house here?
Yeah.
Or you come without nothing and starting from building the house?
We started from the ground up. Like the bricks that we used to build this home here. These are the normal bricks that people make around here. We bake the bricks.
All right.
So yeah,
Those
everything
were
is all
used
humble.
from ovens.
Not a lot of money. I just had to get here and get started.
And people might want to know that did you come with a lot of money from South Africa to come and invest in here?
No.
You came from nothing.
No, hardly anything. I'm starting from the ground. I didn't even have money for even a borehole. So I will show you later on. I actually had to dig mgodi, in Shona, as it is known. With my own hands, I had to become productive, because when I arrived here, there was no water. So I had to make a plan, use these hands and the mind, and make things work. Because
So you mean you came without nothing, and now we are seeing projects that you are doing here?
One thing that I did when I was in the diaspora, I would buy some seeds. For example, when I go to a large retail space, I would buy some cabbage.
Yes.
It's 30 rand,
Alright.
which is almost like in dollars. I'm not sure what 30 rand is, but it's like $1 or something, like of seeds, and I put it away. Next time I buy some tomatoes, put it away. Carrots, I put it away. Starting small. Starting small, and those are the same things that I'm growing right now.
Yeah, I can see you are doing a lot. So far from the 6 months that you've been in Zimbabwe, and how is life?
Life in Zim.
Yes.
I would say that in every country there is always some hardships. Whether you're in SA, in the UK, Australia, or Zim, there's hardships everywhere. But for me, I feel free, yeah, because I can do anything I want to. I can do, I can produce as much as I would like to produce. So I feel great.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So, and compared to South Africa, would you want to go back to look for the jobs in South Africa or what?
I would like to go and shop and come back.
Oh, and
Yes.
that's true. And you said your family is also
They are
coming.
they are definitely coming. Yes.
And I think they will be impressed with the job that you are doing. I see that you are doing some rabbits here.
Yes. We've got some rabbits.
How many are they?
So far, I've got 2 females and a male. I'm just starting, but I want to build an ultimate rabbit industry. Rabbit meat is very healthy. It's even healthier than the chicken and other sorts of meat. So I want to encourage that good eating in Zim and even export eventually.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that is a good thing. Your decision of coming to Zimbabwe. Someone who's in South Africa, you might listen to their story and they will tell you it's been 10 years I've been working in South Africa. You said you was not working, but someone who's working might tell you that I've been working for 10 years. 10 good years, but I have not even produced anything that is tangible. And for you, how did you feel when you say you want to come? Was there any depression or what?
I can say that it's not easy. It's very stressful. When everybody goes to work and you stay at home, especially if you're a man who's a husband,
Wow.
and you're going out there and you're trying everything and it's not working, it's quite depressing. You get very depressed. But when I came here and I found out that I could do anything. I could do anything I want to. I can scale a business. If I want to grow 500 plants of tomatoes or 1,000, I can do it.
That's true.
So I'm happier to know that as a man I can now provide, protect, and lead the family.
Wow, that's great. And what's your message to someone who is maybe in South Africa right now?
My message is that I know it's not easy, and a lot of people out there in the diaspora, they feel a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear that I'm hearing all these sorts of things about the country. What am I going to do there? There's a lot of fear. But I always say that you must have faith. You must prepare. So it's not. I wouldn't encourage someone to just rush. Just prepare yourself. Lift where you stand, and then you come home. Always have a good plan. I believe that Zimbabwe is a wonderful place for anyone who has got a very good plan, who is willing to execute it.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true. And what's your message to someone who's in Zimbabwe? Because it's not that we only have Zimbabweans who are in South Africa who are doing nothing.
Yeah.
We also have Zimbabweans who are in Zimbabweans that they are saying, Zimbabwe is not, Zimbabwe is that, what. But what's the message to someone who's in Zimbabwe?
For someone in Zimbabwe, I would say that one of the most important things is to know what you want. You have to know what you want, and then you come up with a plan. Write down, a yearly goal, 5-year goal. It just needs a pen. You need to start by planning, and then look for something that you can do. If it means to go and work at a farm somewhere so that you can save $50 to buy an equipment, maybe it's that thing that cuts a weed eater, then you start right there, but you need to have a plan. If you don't have a plan and you don't know what you want, you're just gonna be floating out in space.
That's true.
Yes.
So I think we can show them your project that you are doing here.
Yeah.
So this one, what is this one?
All right, so my people, this one is a hole that I dug. It's a 2 meter across, 2 meter deep hole. This is where I create what is known as biochar. So biochar is a sort of a charcoal that we grind. We can mix it with water, and then we can put it, in the trenches or in the holes when you plant something like maize, or or tomatoes. It needs to mature for like 3 months, and then it's ready for use. So it's something that is organic. I'm big on organic, and I like to go that route.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So how do you process the biochar?
Okay, so the biochar, it can be made in many different ways. You can use old trees. Maybe you cut down some trees like what I did here to make space for the garden. So I put those trees in here, and then I lit the fire. And then when everything was hot, and red, I just extinguished the fire with just the sand. that way it starts to cook itself. So it's a process of actually regenerating the soil, which is something that we really want in Zimbabwe, to produce nice, healthy, tasty food.
Wow. And this one, you use it as manure?
It's almost like manure, yes. You know, there's these microorganisms that can stay inside the soil and help to break down the manure and everything.
Right.
So it's like a home for these little workers on the farm.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. And here I see that you just cultivated here. What's the plan in this one?
So yeah, what's happening here, these are some beds. You know, I believe that farmers are scientists, you know.
Wow.
So what I did here, there's some beds which I made ready for planting some onions. Right now, you know, in Zimbabwe we've got a vegetable calendar. So right. I'm going to be planting lots of onions on here, because this is the time, you know, end of April onwards. Yeah, then we plant, I'm planting some Texas grano onions and some beetroot, which is something that is very viable at this time.
Wow.
Yes.
Is it that you used to be a farmer, or is that something that you are learning, or what?
I was never a farmer. It's just, you know, I always had the interest, you know, and I encourage that, you know.
And now you are now implementing.
I'm implementing my desires, you know.
So what do you have here?
All right, so what we have here is mugodi, as it is known in Shona. In English, maybe they call it a well or something like that.
True.
Yes,
that's true.
So I dug this.
You dug it by yourself?
Yeah, with a friend. A friend helped me out, you know, because you need someone who's either taking the soil out and someone digging. So we dug this.
And this one looks like, how many meters are these?
It's about 10 meters deep.
Shit.
You know.
How many days did you?
No, it took us almost 1.5 months. Digging, because you meet a lot of rocks, and it's not easy to go through a rock.
I can see even this one is the big rock here.
Yeah, there's a big rock. So yeah, you know, you have to go down and make use of what you've got. So basically, I had to do this because I didn't have, like I said, I didn't have money for boreholes. I'm coming from a place where you don't have enough resources. Right. So I said, you know what, let me become resourceful. So I did this so that I could get water. There's a lot of people in the country, especially here in Mashonaland East, who don't have water. And I knew that if I want to be productive, I needed water.
That's true.
So I had to do everything in my power to get the water.
And I love your dream, you know, and you are implementing. It's not that you are just thinking.
Yeah, even this little thing here.
Yeah, I can see it. I
had to make my own, my little thing to roll up and bring the water out. This thing was actually a stand for that container that you see there.
Okay.
So yeah, when I started, I didn't have water, so I was catching water from the roof. Harvesting. It's called rain harvesting. So I started harvesting the rain, and then it started up my nursery.
Wow. And this one is the beetroot.
This is the beetroot. I just planted it about 3 days ago, and I can see it's already starting to show promise. And I'm looking forward to yummy meals.
And what's the mission on the planting of the beetroot? For you to eat, or what?
Some of it I'm going to eat it, but mostly it's going to go to the market. I want to serve, you know, the big retail markets like, you know, OK, TM, and the Spar in Zimbabwe, you know.
That's great.
That's
great. And here we have the vegetables.
Yes.
I've never seen this type of way of planting the vegetable. What's the format here?
Okay, so what we're doing here, this is broccoli. And
this one is broccoli.
This is broccoli. It almost looks like rape. But it's not rape. As it starts up, it's like rape, but this is actually broccoli. And I've grown about almost 500 plants of it. So right now what we're doing is we are using what is called drip irrigation.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
What I did when I was in the diaspora, you know, I was go to the marketplace, and I found somebody who was selling the drip lines. So I invested in that.
Wow.
And it's helping me now. You know, you don't have to go around with buckets.
Yes, that's
and
true.
It doesn't waste water.
So do you have the engine for pumping the water from? Is it coming from the well?
Oh, it's coming from that tank right there.
So which means
I'm putting water in there manually.
Wow. And there is no an irrigation system that is pumping the water. No. It's just from the heights down here.
Yeah, we're just using the process of gravity Gravity pulls everything from so it pulls all the water and everything gets watered.
Wow, I'm inspired here.
Yeah.
I'm inspired. And let's see what you are doing there. Wow.
Yeah.
And this one is manure from where?
From the rabbits. From the rabbits. We love to be.
So you are just producing everything by yourself?
Yes, we produce
like the manure, the water.
Yes.
Wow.
You have to become resourceful. That's one thing that we must all do, you know. It doesn't matter if you're from Nigeria, if you're watching me from Nigeria, you know, subscribe, you know,
true.
and let's make this thing grow, you know, let's feed our communities.
Wow. And what do we have here?
Okay, right here, this is a rape here.
Okay.
I just made a little bit for me to eat because
But this is not a little bit. This is much because you go from there to there.
I've got neighbors, so I love to share.
Oh,
you know, it's always good to share with the neighbors, and yeah.
That's true. That's true. What about this side? Don't you have some cows or what? Or you fence the?
Yeah. Fortunately for me, there is a fence around the perimeter, so they don't come in, and even the people they tie the animals so they don't stray around.
Yeah, because one day you lose all this.
Certainly.
Yeah, that's right. And this one is it cabbage?
This is cauliflower.
Oh, this is cauliflower.
Yeah. I started growing this cauliflower with the rainwater. I didn't have water, so I started with the rainwater. I was catching it from my one-bedroom roof, and then I would just pour it. So yeah, I'm starting from the nursery up to what it looks like now.
And I think for judging from 6 months, what you have done here, I think is just something that even a man cannot do. This one. And I think your dream, I pray that you succeed in whatever you are thinking of or you believe in.
Yes.
Because you know, seeing these whole things, I think even myself, I cannot even tag a line like this one.
I get my you know, badza, and then I start digging.
Yes.
Yeah. So I always, you know, one thing that I do is before I go to sleep, I always write down 6 things that I want to do the next day. So I start with the thing that is the hardest. The thing that I least want to do, that's what I start with. And then as I go down the list, it becomes easier and it motivates me to just keep going.
Wow.
You know, that little bit of extra. Little extra goes a long way.
Wow. So do you see yourself expanding you said it's 5 acres?
It's 5 hectares, yeah. What I would like to do is to expand. I want to put all sorts of orchards around here. There's so many things I want to do. You know, I used to collect seeds when I was in the diaspora, like papaya seeds.
Okay.
So I've got about 4,000 papaya seeds which are waiting for me.
When are you planning to do
as soon as I open up the space and get rid of some of these trees here, then we will plant some papayas, some lemons. You know, we need to become productive.
I will definitely come to see you doing the papayas because
certainly.
You know, there are little people who are doing it in Zimbabwe.
Yeah, very few people.
Yeah, I think it's a big dream.
It is.
Yeah, it's a big dream.
Yes.
So guys, for that I think I will show you more about here we got some tomatoes. Yes. And I think it's totally different from other which plant is this one?
Okay, these ones you know, a friend of mine had them in South Africa. Okay. You know, he just had the seeds and they grow big. I don't know if you can see it from here.
I can see it.
Yeah. So like I said, I started
it is still growing.
It is still growing. It gets up to about 600-800 grams.
Wow.
Each, just one. So, and then the other ones are the ones that we know, the money makers. Yes. So I kind of mixed them up. Yeah, they're getting big.
Wow.
They're getting big. I just started with only 5 lines because of that time I didn't have water. I was using the rainwater. But as time goes on, I'll work on getting a borehole and then, you know, we expand.
But this one you can even sell because you cannot even manage to eat all.
No, it's definitely
they are big.
Yeah. So the main reason I'm growing these tomatoes is because I need to get some batteries. You know, one of the major things I want to do is to make sure that my community here in Seke, they can get the day-old chicks.
Okay.
So you know, I need like 2 48-volt batteries, and you know they are quite expensive. So to help me raise that money, that's why I decided to plant these ones and then sell them. You know.
So you need them to generate the money.
They help me generate the money. Yes. To help me buy some of the equipment that I need here. You know. On the farm. So this is one of the strategies. The cauliflower, the tomatoes, the beetroot that you see all going to the market when it's ready, then to help me buy some of the things that I need.
So you need the batteries for...
I need the batteries to produce the day-old chicks. I have an incubator.
All right.
I have an
you
incubator.
already have bought it. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Sacrificed. You know, you have to sacrifice, because, sacrifice brings forth blessings.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Guys, you heard it from the man himself.